We must change the culture of health and safety in New Zealand. Nothing less will save millions of other workers in this country.
I call the Honourable Minister John Banks.
On behalf of the ACT Party and the people of Epsom, I want to express my profound sorrow to the families of the Pike River Mine 29. While it can never compensate for the loss of loved ones, I hope that the Royal Commission's report, that could be best described as brave, provides some closure to those seeking aware answers on what went terribly wrong on the 19th of November 2010 and led up to that fateful day. I have been an employee for 50 years, and I can remember 2 occasions in the restaurant business vividly when I warned a dishwasher that unblocking an incinerator in a sink with his hands was going to lead to a disaster. And 3 or 4 occasions I told that dishwasher he must not do it. Another occasion I told him that if I saw him putting his hands into it without unplugging it at the wall, I'd have to sack him. And sure enough, about 3 months later, I learned that he'd put his hands in to unblock the dishwasher and lost most of the fingers on his hands. Another occasion with someone dealing with fat, I said to the worker, you cannot come to work in this kitchen handling big buckets of hot, deep-frying fat wearing jandals. The floor is wet, you're going to have a disaster. I was away from the business one day and I got a call to say that he came in shorts and bare feet, slipped, and the boiling fat went all over him, and the rest is history. So for employers and employees, these things can happen. This was just 1 or 2 occasions in a business that I was associated with. So employers have to be ever vigilant that employees can do things sometimes that are going to cause some danger, and you can only do your best to try and help them out. I know that this is an institutional matter that we're talking about, but on Saturday I drove down a street in my electorate and I saw a man in sand shoes and shorts on a tin roof washing his roof with a broomstick and a hose. And I don't have to tell you how dangerous that is. So we all do things in business and at home that are dangerous, and we can be told until we're blue in the face that this is dangerous. While it can never compensate for the loss of the loved ones, the Royal Commission's report about the responsibility of employers to employees and employees to their workmates can never be underestimated. And Justice Pankhurst's reports makes harrowing reading. In essence, everything that might have gone wrong did go wrong. Like trying to fix the incinerator while it's plugged in, or trying to carry hot buckets of fat in a restaurant in bare feet. The Pike River tragedy was waiting to happen. The geology and the geography was difficult. The rock was shattered and the coal was deep. The company was undercapitalised, there was a high turnover of management, and the company directors relied heavily on the safety assurances of the company management that would have been under huge pressure to deliver to a company that was under huge pressure to deliver to their bankers. There was a high expectation and a high ratio of inexperienced miners to experienced ones. That is why in a kitchen that we would run, we would often have an experienced person with an inexperienced person, so accidents that can happen in a small workplace don't happen. But accidents that happen in a big workplace are multiple, and in this case, multiplied 29 times. The mining method was novel, the placement of the air extractors and equipment unorthodox and not fire protected. Methane detectors were often ignored in the desire to keep the mine up and running and produce coal for the management, so the management could produce it to the board, so the board could produce the cash to the bank. Mr. Speaker, the ACT Party supports the free market and entrepreneurship, but we also support employing people and not exploiting them, looking after people and valuing them, teaching people and monitoring them, and having a two-way relationship with them where dollars don't come before safety and security. The Commission finds that this law is largely fit for purpose. However, it finds the industry-specific regulations made under the Act are not, and it suggests changes and more extensive reforms of the regulations. Finally, Mr Speaker, can I say this? In relation to Pike River, the Department of Labour essentially believed that the mine was compliant with the regulations and that active assessment of regulatory requirement and compliance and safety was unnecessary. It is always necessary because workplace safety is always paramount, and we've learnt a lot of very valuable lessons. I'm very sorry for the 29 miners and their families at Pike River.
I call the honourable member Jamie Lee Ross.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I think it's unfortunate that